Hello everyone, Charles Watts here. Welcome back to Inside Arsenal and welcome to the Emirates Stadium where it's finished Arsenal 1, Brighton 1 in pretty controversial fashion. As I'm sure you are all aware, Declan Rice sent off with Arsenal leading 1-0 early in the second half. Declan Rice sent off, first red card of his career. Brighton going on to get an equaliser and earning themselves a point to maintain their unbeaten start to the Premier League season. So we're going to go over that, go over the game in this sort of immediate post-match reaction video. Of course, I'll do a much more in-depth reaction tomorrow to that. So if you want to get included in that show, you want to send in your thoughts, you know what to do, go into the comments, give me your thoughts on the game, the big decisions, and then I'll pull some of them together and get them included in tomorrow's show. But we'll talk about it just briefly right now, and I'll go through my Arsenal player ratings as well. And look, that red card incident is going to dominate all the talk. I've already seen the immediate reaction, which is just going on downstairs below me right now as we speak. Mikel Arteta's press conference is going to be happening pretty soon as well, and I'm sure that's going to be a pretty feisty affair. So 1-0, Arsenal leading. Kai Havertz with the goal yet again in the first half. Lovely lob finish from Bukayo Saka's pass, and then the big incident that changes the game. 2 minutes into the second half, Arsenal down by the North Bank. Declan Rice in a sort of incident with Joel Veltman. Free kick awarded to Brighton, and Rice just sort of nudges the ball away. As in doing so, Veltman, who is going to sort of try and take the free kick quickly, kicks Rice in the shin. Rice falls on the floor. Everyone crowds round, expecting maybe a yellow card for the Brighton player. Instead, referee Chris Kavanagh books Declan Rice for the second time. He'd already been booked in the first half and sends him off, much to everyone's bafflement at the time. And it's one of those instances when you look at it, you can look at it either way. Like, was Declan Rice stupid to do it? Probably yes, considering he was on a yellow card. He's now going to miss the North London derby, by the way, after the international break through suspension. Did he need to do it? No. Have I ever seen anyone booked for something like that? He literally nudged it about a foot. So it wasn't like he kicked the ball away, he nudged it about a foot. And so just as Veltman was swinging his boot, the ball was moving anyway, so it's like the free kick. The free kick, if he had taken it, he shouldn't actually have been able to take it because it would have been a moving ball anyway. But so he nudged it away from Veltman. Veltman kicked him, as I said, and the referee deemed that Declan Rice had been preventing the taking of a free kick and booked him for the second time. So off he went. Now, in the first half, and this is what I've seen, I'll go over what Mikel Arteta's briefly said to the TV downstairs now, but in the first half, it was João Pedro was chasing a ball that was going out where it did go out of play, right by the halfway line, right by Arteta. Odegaard was chasing back, and instead of letting Arsenal get the ball, pick the ball up and take the throw in quickly, Pedro booted it, even though it was good 2 yards out of play, booted it all the way down the other end of the pitch to David Raya. Arsenal went mad, thinking, it's got to be a yellow card surely. Wasn't given, no yellow card, and the game restarted. So it's just the lack of consistency which just totally baffles me in this way. So in one way you can say, yes, Declan Rice was stupid, he shouldn't have done it, he shouldn't have risked getting himself a yellow card, that's perfectly fair. But you have to be consistent. How can Pedro not get booked in the first half for something as blatant as that when he kicked the ball halfway down the pitch to prevent Arsenal taking a quick throw-in, and yet you booked Declan Rice for nudging the ball a yard, basically, to prevent Brighton taking a free kick. It was mad. Mikel's been speaking about it downstairs. He says the decision changes the game completely. If it happens throughout the game in a consistent way, then that's fine, but it didn't happen. In the first half, there are a number of occasions where they kicked the ball away and nothing happened. It's inconsistency, especially because it's in an area that is not critical. You made the call, then you have to give a red card. We had to play with 10. If we had to play with 10, then they had to play with 10 because it's a red card for Veltman. I presume he means for kicking Declan Rice in the incident, and he did leather him right in the shin. Like I said, at the initial time, you saw that, you thought, there's going to be some action taken here for the Brighton player, and yet it was Declan Rice is sending off. So that did change the game. Arsenal winning 1-0. It hadn't been a great performance, I don't think, from Arsenal at that point. They started the game really well. First 10 minutes, I thought they were electric. Bukayo Saka was superb. They got him on the ball as quickly as possible. It looked like it was going to be a long game for Brighton. But then Martin Odegaard picked up an injury. About 15 minutes in, he got absolutely booted by Minty. And no punishment again for that, no yellow card, anything like that. And that really seems to affect Arsenal, I thought, because Odegaard couldn't dictate the play. He was really struggling. You could see he kept going over for treatment. He stayed on the pitch, but he was really struggling. He couldn't dictate the play like he usually does. He couldn't lead the press like he usually does as well. And I think that really affected Arsenal because they lost their way a little bit in that first half. But they did get themselves in front just before half-time. Bukayo Saka doing really well, laying the ball onto Kai Havertz. Brilliant finish from Havertz, lobbing the keeper. And it was 1-0 at half-time, and he thought, despite not the best performance in the first half, Arsenal got the lead. We know how good they are defensively. You felt that might just be enough to get the win for Arsenal. But then the red card happens, And I didn't think Arsenal reacted that well to it as well. They just lost their heads a little bit for a period. I thought Mikel might have made a change earlier than he did. He waited for about 5 minutes. Then he was going to bring on Calafiori, and it was while Calafiori was waiting to come on that Brighton got their equaliser. Now, the equaliser itself, when you look at it and you break it down, I don't think Arsenal are going to be very happy with the part that they played in it. Gabriel and Saliba were way apart. There was a massive gap that Minty was allowed to run through. Then Gabriel still had a good chance to make the tackle. He didn't. He missed his tackle, and that allowed Minty to get the shot away. Saliba, I think, was expecting Gabriel to make the tackle, and when he didn't, he wasn't close enough to make the challenge. They got the shot away. Raya saved it. Declan Rice and João Pedro have been running on sort of keep as the play unfolded. Partey didn't track the run of Pedro. The ball fell to Pedro, who rolled it in 1-1. And at that point, I did fear the worst. I thought Brighton were going to go on and win the game because, as I said, I thought Arsenal were looking very disjointed. The red card had really thrown them. They did, to their credit, I thought, really sort of improve as the second half went on. I thought Kai Havertz was absolutely exceptional. He did create a brilliant chance for himself. Fantastic forward play, really strong. Got himself through 1-1. His shot was saved by the goalkeeper. It fell to Bukayo Saka, the rebound. His shot was blocked. That was a massive chance for Arsenal. It didn't take it. And then soon after, more excellent play by Havertz down the right-hand side, whipped in a brilliant ball. Bukayo Saka came sliding in on the stretch, just couldn't get enough on it, and his shot went straight at the goalkeeper. At the other end, Raya made a couple of good saves as well, and then it all sort of petered out and finished 1-1. So both sides maintain their unbeaten starts of the season, but both sides surrender their 100% start to the season. So it's 7 points from 9 for Arsenal, 7 points from 9 for Brighton as well. And I think on balance of play, it's probably just about a fair result. But yeah, Arsenal are going to feel very hard done by. I mean, there was just loud boos throughout the at full time as the referee was coming off Chris Kavanagh. You know, it was clearly the Emirates crowd not happy with him, and you know, I'm not surprised. It was one of those instances which you look at it and you think, I've never seen that before. I've just never seen something like that before. A little nudge of the ball away, then the player gets kicked, and then the yellow card comes for the player who nudged the ball away. It's just one of those things. I think back to Tomiyasu at the start of last season getting sent off for 2 yellow cards at Crystal Palace. Just think, I've just never really seen, no one else seems to get punished for something like that, and I thought it was very similar today with that one. Or the Gabriel Martinelli 2 yellow cards in the space of 2 minutes at Wolves a few seasons ago. Again, it's just one of those instances where you think, I bet you I never see something like that happen again, and yet it always seems to happen to Arsenal, or maybe to my mind it always seems to happen to Arsenal, but that's because I pay more attention to Arsenal. But yeah, disappointing result, but it's a draw, it's not a defeat, and now we'll have to wait and see what happens in the rest of the Premier League weekend. Okay, player ratings wise now, going to start with the goalkeeper. Obviously, I thought David Raya was excellent. Again, I thought he made some really big saves. Handling was superb. He came and claimed every single cross. Really unlucky with a goal. Made the good save, but the ball fell to João Pedro, of course, equalised. So, you know, he can be very happy with his performance again. David Raya just having an excellent start to the season. We've seen the big saves he's made in the first couple of games. He made some more today, so yeah, I gave him 8 out of 10. Right back, Ben White, we know he seems to struggle with Matoma year after year. Today was no different really. I thought Matoma caused him a lot of problems. I gave Ben White a 6 out of 10. I gave William Saliba a 7. Like I said, when they all sort of break down, I'm sure they're all going to sit back in London Colney, they'll analyse the goal that they conceded. I think the Arsenal coaching staff will be a little bit disappointed in how the defending worked out. The gap between Saliba and Gabriel was just too big, and both defenders seemed to react pretty slowly to the danger. But aside from that, I thought Saliba had a decent game. I gave him a 7. I gave Gabriel a 6. He'll be definitely disappointed with his part in the goal. I think he could have been a lot stronger to prevent the initial shot coming in than he was. Left back, Timber, tired as a half wore on. He went off in the second half, hopefully with no sort of injury. He was sort of feeling his knee a little bit, but I think it was tiredness more than anything else. It was solid enough. He didn't really offer anything going forward, I didn't think. Jurriën Timber, though, I gave him a 6 out of 10. The midfield, I thought, struggled even before the Declan Rice red card. I thought Thomas Partey made some good recovery tackles at times, but he was really slack in possession at times. Thomas Partey, the passing that we know is usually so crisp with him, just wasn't quite there. He got dispossessed a few times. I thought he was really good against Aston Villa, Thomas Partey. I didn't think he was great at all today. I thought he struggled, and I gave him a 5. I gave Declan Rice a 4. Again, I think Declan Rice at the moment is really struggling since he's come back from the summer. It's just not the Declan Rice we saw last season. I think he's taken a fair bit of time to get up to his best speed. The fact he's now going to be suspended for a game isn't going to help, and when you sort of take away the controversy of the actual incident itself, it was a bit stupid from Declan Rice to do what he did. He gave the referee an opportunity to send him off. Yeah, the referee certainly took that opportunity with both hands very, very gladly by all accounts. But I did think Declan will probably look back at that today and just think, did I really need to do what I did? So I gave Declan Rice a 4, I gave Odegaard a 6. He tried as much as he could. I just think that injury in the first half, when he got a really nasty whack on the leg, I just really think that impacted Martin Odegaard today. We just didn't see him at his best, and you could see even like in the celebrations for Kai Havertz's goal, instead of joining in the celebrations, he was straight over to the touchline, which was to the medical staff receiving more treatment. He did it about 2 or 3 times in the first half. You could see him grimacing, even from where I was sitting. You could see him grimacing in pain as he was trying to run. And that just stopped him doing his usual stuff. The explosiveness wasn't there, the pressing that we've seen from him at times. He was trying to do it, but I just don't think he could do it at times. So I gave him a 6. Up front, I thought Kai Havertz was absolutely excellent, especially in the second half after the red card. Yes, you look at that when he went through 1-on-1 and he should have scored. It was a very good save. The keeper stretched out his leg very, very well and made the save. But yes, you need to take that opportunity, really. But in terms of the actual whole performance, I thought Havertz was brilliant. His play to set up the chance for Saka was fantastic. So I gave Havertz an 8, I gave Saka a 7. Like I said, he started the game like an absolute train, Bukayo Saka. He was all over the left back, causing them all sorts of problems. Brighton did sort of suss that out a little bit as the game wore on. I think they doubled up in him a lot more and made sure the left back wasn't as isolated, and that sort of negated his influence in the game a little bit, Bukayo Saka, but he did also get the assist for Kai Havertz. Really good play, out muscling Lewis Dunk and then prodding the ball through to set up. So I gave Bukayo Saka a 7, and then Leandro Trossard in from the start, as I think we all kind of wanted and think he deserved it given his performances so far this season, but I don't think he was really in the game. Trossard, he was the one who went off after the red card, produced one brilliant bit of play in the first half when he whipped in a cross that Odegaard could have done better with, but other than that, it was just on the fringes of things, I thought, Martin Odegaard. So I gave him, Leandro Trossard, I gave him a 5 out of 10 as well. Substitutes who came on, Calafiori was the first after the red card. Decent enough cameo again from Calafiori. Looks like a real player, I think. Calafiori, I gave him a 6. And then who else came on? Martinelli couldn't really get in the game. I think Arsenal brought him on to try and use his pace with Brighton. Were pressing forward, going for the winner. Couldn't really exploit that space in behind too much. Martinelli and Zinchenko came on late on when after Timber had gone down, sort of feeling his knee a little bit. So that was it. Man of the match, I'm going to give it to David Raya. I thought Havertz and him were the 2 outstanding players on the pitch from an Arsenal point of view, but I'll give it to David Raya because I thought it was a fabulous performance again from David Raya. And that's it from the Emirates Stadium. Disappointing result, I would say, but mitigating circumstances, of course. And when you're down at 10 men for pretty much an entire half against a team as good as Brighton, then probably take a 1-1 draw, even though it is feeling a little bit disappointing right now. So as always, let me know your thoughts on the performance. Get into the comments below with your summing up, and I'll bring some of them together and get them included in tomorrow's in-depth reaction show. Thanks for watching from the Emirates. It's finished Arsenal 1, Brighton 1.